Welcome back, my lovely Virgos. This is Sun in Virgo Part 2. I hope you guys took some time to sit still and meditate and reflect and reset yourself, reset your mind. And with further ado, we're going to dive right into this Part 2. I want to start with a quote that I created. This came to me as I was preparing to deliver this message, and the quote goes, "My thoughts activate or deactivate my willpower. Mind over matter." My thoughts activate or deactivate my willpower. What does that mean? Well, your thinking controls your behavior. It controls habits. It controls what you do in certain situations. And so, depending on where your mind is, you're going to behave a certain way. So, if your mind is very negative, you're going to have very negative behavior, right? If your mind is positive, then you're going to have positive behavior, positive habits, right? So, your mind is directly linked to your willpower. And let me go back and tell you about, remind you that the mind rules over Virgo. So what does that mean? Well, Mercury, aka the mind, represents the mind in the celestial bodies of planetary energy. Mercury rules the mind, intellect, intelligence, our mental faculties. So your mental faculties, the planetary body that represents the mental faculties, is ruling over the sign of Virgo and Gemini. So if your mind, if Mercury is ruling over that, which is the mind, that means that your willpower, which is the sun, your willpower, is taking the shape of Virgo. So your willpower, your driving force, is directly linked to your mind. Okay? I hope that wasn't too complicated. Just understand, everything in your mind is creating your world at a fast pace, because the sign that your sun sits in is controlled by the mind. And once again, remember that Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, is the planetary body that represents our mind. Okay? So, your mindset determines the actions you take. Your willpower is directly ruled by your thinking and your mental perceptions. Your thoughts create your ideas, which determine your behavior and habits, which forms your reality ultimately. Okay? So, as a Virgo, we tend to mull over the small details of a thing. Like, there'll be a situation, and there'll be one thing that we'll focus on. And I know this because I've done this before as a Virgo. We'll nitpick over one little thing, and we fail to look at the big picture. It's like this one little thing is not gonna affect the entire thing. It may, but you need to look at both sides. You need to look at the big picture and the small details, because otherwise you can't see the forest for the trees, you know? And that's a big thing with Virgo. You know, we are very detailed, we're very analytical, and we'll obsess over the smallest thing. I wonder why she made that face. What did that face mean? Is she mad or what? She could have been having a bad thought at that moment. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you examples of how this thing can happen with us. We really tend to, as Virgos, we tend to obsess over the small details and miss out on the big picture, like, you know. So that's something that you need to kind of focus on, Virgo. Start looking at the big picture. It's good to notice the details that are a little off, but then say, how does this affect the big picture? Is this gonna truly affect the big picture, or can we move forward even though this little small detail may be off base? And more oftentimes than not, the little small details is just not a big deal. So anyway, your thoughts create your ideas, which determine your behavior and your habits. So focusing on those small details and getting mad at it and just walking away from a situation is like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You don't want to do that. Now, what you think about powerfully attracts that very thing. Whatever you think about, you are powerfully attracted to it, because your mind is like a machine. Okay, you are processing at a fast rate because of that Mercury. Okay, that Mercury energy. And so your manifestation is like in overdrive. And I mean, I can attest to that. I can think of something and bam, it's right there. And I'm like, whoa, this has happened to me so much. And I think I have a lot of Mercury in my chart, strong Mercury. I've got Gemini I have a Gemini moon, and then I also have Mercury in Virgo. So if you're a Sun in Virgo, a lot of Sun in Virgos have Mercury in Virgo as well. So anyway, you are powerfully attracted to whatever it is that you are thinking about or obsessing over. So be careful what you're thinking and what's occupying your mind space. Make sure it's what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you want, because you're bringing that into your reality at a really, really fast rate, Virgo. So essentially, if you hold on to a negative attitude or way of thinking, I just said this, then your reality will also unfold negatively. However, if you obsess and hold on to a positive trait or a positive situation or a positive way of thinking, then your reality will unfold positively. That's the take-home message. That is the take-home message. Whatever you think about is going to unfold in your reality. When you wrap your brain around that, it's going to start changing your whole mode of thinking, Virgo. Okay? I like to take marker and cut up little small pieces of paper and write positive words on them and post them all over the room as a way to kind of condition my mind for positive thinking. Whatever it is that you need to do. I mean, I like to say affirmations, and I like to put up nice, beautiful picture, beautiful artwork, things like that. Having flowers and plants and, just beautiful things that keeps you in a very high vibration. It is so important, Virgo, for you to maintain a high vibration, because your mind is very, very powerful. Okay? Remember that. I want you to remember mind over matter. I feel like that saying was made just for you, Virgo. Mind over matter, truly. Because where your mind is at, that will manifest in your reality. So that's it, Virgo. That's all I have now for part 2, Sun in Virgo. The next video, we're going to go into Sun in Virgo part 3. I hope you enjoy. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, or share. And if you didn't like it, then you can dislike it. And you don't have to share it. And you don't have to subscribe. Anyway, have a good day. Peace.